Trap House, 2025, is an ambitious action thriller that blends family dynamics with cartel warfare and undercover law enforcement stakes. At its core, the film attempts to juxtapose the violence of organized crime with the emotional fallout of generational conflict, but the execution proves inconsistent. Dave Bautista anchors the film as DEA agent Ray Seal, bringing his trademark physical presence and disciplined intensity to the role. Bautista sells the emotional burden of a law officer father trying to protect his family while navigating the dangers of a deadly cartel conflict. Jack Champion, as Seal's son Cody, injects youthful energy and rebelliousness. Champion's performance captures both the bravado and vulnerability of a teenager pushed into a brutal world far beyond his years. Sophia Lillis, Whitney Peak, Tony Dalton, and Bobby Cannavale round out the cast, contributing solid individual performances. However, several supporting roles lack the development needed to make their arcs fully resonate, leaving much of the ensemble feeling underutilized. Trap House opens with a compelling premise. Undercover DEA agents in El Paso discover that their own teenage children have begun using the very tactics and intel meant to combat cartels in order to rob them. Director Michael Dowse manages the film's pacing effectively, maintaining forward momentum even when the story veers into implausibility. The visual style is polished, action sequences are staged with competence, and the film leans into tension through grounded cinematography and sound design. That said, the tonal balance is fraught. What begins as a gritty undercover thriller gradually shifts into a hybrid that straddles serious cartel drama and near-camp adventure with teenagers leading clandestine robberies, an uneasy blend that the film never fully reconciles. The most significant structural flaw in Trap House is its tonal inconsistency. Critics have observed that the film is simultaneously too earnest to embrace fun and too implausible to be taken seriously, falling into what amounts to an identity crisis. Narrative plausibility is another weak point. The idea that a group of teens could effectively leverage DEA tactics to target a cartel strains credibility, and the film doesn't sufficiently justify why or how this transformation happens. Character development suffers as well. While Bautista's performance is committed, many of the supporting cast are reduced to archetypes, and emotional stakes don't consistently land because motivations aren't grounded in well-established reasons. Greater focus on narrative coherence and a clearer tonal identity would have strengthened the film immensely. A tighter script that fully commits either to the gritty thriller elements or to satirical adventure could have prevented the film from feeling split between genres. Deeper characterization, especially for the teenagers and cartel figures, would have allowed audiences to care more about the risks they undertake and the emotional costs they incur. Expanding backstory or motivation beyond surface-level rebellion would add weight to the central conflict. Trap House has garnered mixed reactions from critics and audiences alike. On Rotten Tomatoes, it holds a middling approval rating, indicative of its uneven critical reception. Viewers who appreciate raw action and high pace may find redeeming pleasure in the film's set pieces and Bautista's physical performance. However, those seeking narrative depth or tonal clarity are more likely to find the film frustrating and underdeveloped. Film rating 6 out of 10. A well-paced and occasionally engaging thriller that struggles under the weight of its own ambitious tonal shifts and narrative leaps. Final thoughts. Trap House is notable for its audacity and moments of kinetic energy, but it ultimately feels like a film unsure of its own identity. Part gritty cartel drama, part teen adventure, and part action spectacle. The performances, especially from Bautista, add depth where the script cannot. Like, subscribe. Or consider this review your early warning system. Because in Trap House, even the kids are armed with intel.
You want me, baby, let me know. All in this, you want me, baby, show